channel of this positive energy and the reflection of the good in our nation. The capacity to tell our nation's story would not have been possible without the support and patronage of the three arms of government: ministries, departments, agencies, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, and of course you, our esteemed viewers. As we wish you a prosperous new year, let's get set to make 2023 even greater together.
Our country people, they talk with one voice. Them say Asiwaju Bola Tinubu dem want as president of Nigeria for this president election. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu na the man wey we all know and see all the good work in dey do for the country, especially when he be governor of Lagos State. Now when God use turn Lagos to the best state for Nigeria. Today, many people all over Nigeria they like to go Lagos, go settle down for business and better life. And because of the good work wey Bola Tinubu do, people of Nigeria, as Asiwaju do for Lagos, now so him ready to do am for the whole country. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party wey get broom.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as the elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them?
For the guests, building a consensus on what kind of leader.
Well, that's Hitch. And nationwide continues here in Abuja. Moving on, Nigerians expect the general elections this year to produce leaders that will enshrine justice and equity for all, irrespective of status, ethnicity, or religion, in order to change Nigeria's political narrative for the better. Guests who stated this on the first episode of Good Morning Nigeria for the year are optimistic that Nigeria is on the path of greatness despite having many challenges. Lydia Sampson reports.
Yes, building a consensus on what kind of leaders Nigerians want in 2023 is critical, and the next step is to vote leaders based on capacity and understanding of the dynamics of the country. A collective vision, they say, is also needed to advance the public good above parochial interests.
We get to govern by the rule of law. Because when you govern by the rule of law, all these things we are talking about, believe you me, will be a thing of past. Because we are all equal.
When people say, let's look for a good man, let's look for the right man, if the system works, whether you are good or bad, you are regulated by the system. The impunity that has eaten deep into our polity is why we feel the system cannot work.
They decried the money-back politics that played out in political party primaries last year, while calling for prudence and justice in the utilization of national resources, as well as orderliness in the democratic process.
What is best administered is best. And that is why we say that liberal democracy in UK is different from liberal democracy in America, is different from liberal democracy in Portugal. Why is it like that? It is because of the peculiarity nature of the people.
We need to, build consensus around what kind of leadership do we need as a country, and political parties need to ensure that leadership recruitment is based on merit, and it's based on individuals who have the requisite capacity and the character, to deliver public governance.
In all, they believe accountability and punitive measures for leaders who abuse public office will reset national orientation. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, NTA, convened a special extraordinary meeting to appraise the state of the Ummah, consider various committee reports, and take a position on the 2023 general elections. At the end of the meeting, presided over by President General of the NSCIA and Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, the conference resolved that Muslims should ensure they collect their permanent voter cards (PVCs), while Nigerians should fully choose the best candidates and vote credible and righteous leaders. In a statement issued by the Secretary General, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, the NSCIA also urged the Muslim Ummah to also establish private universities while affirming support for the Supreme Court's position on rights of Muslim women to wear the hijab. Frowning at promoters of hatred and disunity in the polity, they urged governments at all levels to provide more security and job opportunities for the citizenry and punish perpetrators of violence. Appreciating recent successes recorded by the NDLA in fighting drug abuse, they urged parents to train their children in the way of righteousness while also commiserating victims' families in the recent accidents at Shagamu, Ogun State. Director Community Support Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Abdullah Ahmed May Agogo, says Tinubu Shetima 2023 provides the best choice option for renewed hope and grassroots inclusiveness. He was speaking during a grassroots community sensitization and mobilization in Maraba of Karo local government area of Nasarawa State. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
With strategic engagements ahead of the February 2023 presidential election, the Community Support Directorate of the Presidential Campaign Council (PCC) is taking its sensitization and mobilization to more grassroots communities. The interaction with Maraba supporters, which is the latest, was done amidst creative entertainment, wooing them to vote the APC candidates. The directorate assured the APC supporters of the visionary ideas and capacities of the duo of Tinubu and Shetima, citing their antecedents as governors.
We tell them what is all about the right they have towards choosing their candidate, that is Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashi Shetima, how to vote for somebody who has a mission, vision and focus and love for all, and a candidate who does not discriminate between Muslim and Christian, who has the love of everybody, and a leader as well who you can see have the listening ear of a people.
Our main thought, which is Ahmed Bola Tinubu, we like him to help the women, empowerment for youth and women.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the directorate visited the Kubwa General Hospital to rejoice and celebrate the new year baby, Bibu Ugweta,
and gave the assurance that immediately the boy grow up and start school, I personally will sponsor him up to the university level.
I appreciate the political party for coming to witness a day like this and to celebrate with my family.
The team says the sensitization and mobilization will be intensified in the coming days across the country. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
As the presidential campaign train of the All Progressives Congress prepares to arrive at Akwa Ibom State January 12, party stakeholders of the state are mobilizing for a successful outing. At the inaugural meeting of the Parliamentarians Directorate of Presidential Campaign Council of APC in Uyo, immediate past Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Itainang, says the Tinubu Shetima ticket is for more infrastructural development in the country. Clement Barikiu reports.
The Parliamentarians Directorate of the Presidential Campaign Council of APC is made up of former lawmakers and those who contested for Senate, governorship, House of Representatives and the House of Assemblies and either lost or won. Senator Itainang says the aim of the group is to achieve unity in the party at the state level and mobilize support for the party's victory. He notes that Akwa Ibom State, notwithstanding being ruled by PDP, has benefited immensely from the APC administration led by President Muhammadu Buhari through the establishment of a fertilizer blending plant, power plant, and the construction of the damaged Calabar-Itu Highway.
Whatever the issues, while we await the choice of the governorship candidate in the state, all of us should go out and vote for the presidential candidate APC, governorship when we have, Senate and House of Representatives.
More employment when we finally have the new president coming. And I know the present APC government is doing a lot.
The meeting afforded the party the opportunity to assign roles to members in preparation for the January 12 presidential rally in the state. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
And Kaduna is our next stop, where Amina Sayede is standing by. Amina, take it up from here.
Olajide, welcome to Kaduna Network Center. Kaduna State Police Command has arrested 780 suspects for various crimes and secured 116 convictions last year. The command also rescued 206 kidnapped victims, in addition to recovering 1,359 rounds of live ammunition. These are part of breakthroughs recorded in the fight against crimes in Kaduna State. Suleiman Rugachku has more.
Items recovered by Kaduna State Police Command are 17 motorcycles from bandits, 1,446 rustled livestock, and 15 bags of substance suspected to be Indian hemp. The command succeeded in neutralizing 21 armed bandits. The State Commissioner of Police said the command is not resting on its efforts to secure the state from criminal elements.
What I can assure you and every citizen and resident of this state is that we are going to up our performances. We will not let our guards down. The challenges are still there. We assure you we continue to confront the challenges. Kaduna State is very important, too important to be left for criminals to take over.
While commenting on the command's readiness for general elections, Ikine Anyoku said series of security meetings have been organized with critical stakeholders to ensure hitch-free campaigns and general elections in Kaduna State. Suleiman Rugachku, NTA News.
Artificial insemination and other biotechnological techniques are among strategies being applied globally to increase cattle population and boost milk and meat production. This strategy is what Kano State government is deploying to improve the socio-economic well-being of pastoral farmers, as captured in this report by Abdullahi Mustafa.
Pastoralists are the major suppliers of milk in northern Nigeria. However, their supplies are grossly inadequate as their cows produce not more than 4 liters each per day. Kano State government, through its agro-pastoral development project, comes up with an initiative to bridge the supply gap and contribute to the nation's quest for self-sufficiency in milk production, boosting the productivity through artificial insemination. After total renovation and retooling of the Kadawa Artificial Insemination Center, 5 exotic bulls have been acquired to facilitate yearly insemination of 25,000 cows.
We are aspiring for between 15 to 20 liters daily after the AIE services.
The process will help to improve milk and meat production in the state and will improve the general food security in the state.
To achieve high success rate, an intensive special training has been organized on how, where and when to conduct artificial insemination in theory and practice.
What we are doing now is we are actually locating the cervix, doing the anatomical aspect of female reproductive tract.
We're able to catch the cervix of any animal because the cervix is the position or landmark through which we inseminate this animal.
With this training, at least 80% success rate is expected to be achieved in the exercise, which targets more than 200,000 cows over a period of 5 years. Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
We now take our second break. Nationwide continues with Olajide in Abuja after this message. Stay with us.
Country want better. Our country want better. Go do one for us. Papa Cambo, for a better Nigeria. Good life income. Now you will want to. Now you will need.
Yes, so people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better than one shell for we country. So ready to put Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the next president of Nigeria. Our people don't look the matter well. Say that only Bola Tinubu don't do with it. Everybody everybody fit see. Na him get the experience wey go fit use take make our country better, make life sweet for we and our pikin dem. Bola Tinubu don gather better plan to chase down war for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace for all the country people of Nigeria. But these and many other better things wey im don vocalize, e good make we all vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party wey show groom.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
The occasion gives cause for reflection and reminds us of the sacrifice made by our armed forces in preserving the unity of the country.
All ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to this account. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. Ecobank Nigeria PLC.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayer. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you all Sundays and all Fridays, who are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations? It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
Glad to know you are still there. Farmers impacted by the 2022 flood in Bayelsa State have received agricultural inputs to aid the recovery process and enhance food production, supported by the federal government and the International Fund for Agricultural Development (IFAD). The farmers were advised to utilize the inputs effectively. The report.
The unprecedented flood of 2022 caused major damage to farmers as hundreds of farmlands and fish ponds were washed away. In response, the International Fund for Agricultural Development (IFAD) has distributed agro inputs to farmers. Items distributed include 270 bags of NPK fertilizer, 100 cartons of agrochemicals, 7,500 plantain sockets, 100 cartons of day-old chicks, 300 360 bags of poultry feeds and 360 bags of fish feeds of different kinds. Also, 700 bundles of cassava stems, 2,000 assorted edible tree crops, and 350 packs of assorted vegetable seedlings.
It's a life-transforming opportunity.
They help everybody, even workers. When we work, now our work, then serve the job.
Using this opportunity to thank Life NTA and IFAD.
I want to thank you all for giving us an opportunity to stand on our feet.
IFAD Life NTA has brought hope back again. So my advice for them is to take them very seriously. It's a business, so that they will make a living out of what I've been giving to them.
IFAD is a very strong one because it actually takes you through a process. There's a parent farm called incubator where incubators go and work for so many months, and the whole process takes about a year. So it's a very effective one.
IFAD-assisted Life ND is also providing training to thousands of youths in Bayelsa and empowering them to be self-reliant and employers of labor. In Yenagwa, Ebinimi Zitemiola, NTA News.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FRS) has announced that taxpayers can now get their tax clearance certificate in a single click via its flagship Tax Pro Max solution. And the Tax Pro Max, a tax administration solution introduced by the Apex Tax Authority in June 2021, is a one-stop shop for taxpayer registration, tax returns filing, tax payment, tax clearance certificate requesting, among other functionalities. The service made this announcement on Tuesday via its social media pages on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, where it stated that the generation of tax clearance certificates, which used to be issued within a period of 2 weeks, would now be available on a single click by the taxpayer. This innovation is coming on the heels of wide-scale technological reforms that the service has embarked on in its bid to achieve 100% automation of its tax administration functions. Commenting on the development, the executive chairman of the FRS, Mohammed Nami, explained that this functionality was in line with the objectives of the service to make the lives of taxpayers easier and ensure the ease of doing business in the country. Industry, trade and investment are the center of every nation's economy. How has this central role been expressed in the year 2022? This is what correspondent Benny Adams seeks to unravel in this report as business and economic players take positions against 2023.
With continuous pressure from the effects of the pandemic and sliding into the Russia-Ukraine war, putting a hold on desired economic recovery, the country recorded gains through non-oil exports, thus reducing the country's foreign exchange dependence on oil remittances.
2.9 billion enjoyed with over 200 products that were exported to different countries, different destinations. That's very good because some products that we thought would never make it to the international market are now being sold internationally and being accepted. So I think it's a good achievement for us, and thanks to the Buhari administration who has given us the enablement, the resources to do what we are doing as an agency.
Scarcity of foreign exchange posed significant challenges for manufacturers, as import costs soar, making it difficult to buy raw materials and expand production. The result is a further decline in their ability to generate well-paid jobs.
So if we want to make sure that our people, our young people remain here, right, to earn a decent living by doing meaningful jobs, we better reverse the flow of value. We better reverse the flow of opportunities for good jobs, meaningful jobs, creative jobs.
While many say Nigeria missed the opportunity to optimize the global oil price rally as the government faces revenue generation challenges amid an increasing debt burden, the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline was initiated for future gains.
Taking the fact that Nigeria is more of a gas territory with more gas than oil, and we've not paid so much attention to gas than we've been paying to oil, so we decided to take the direction to gas.
In March this year, The government, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, introduced the RT200 foreign exchange, which is the race to earning $200 billion between 2 to 3 years.
Luckily, the Lagos port is ready to go in January from Epe. We need to move very, very fast to develop the road infrastructure that takes goods out and also bring goods in so they can be exported with ease out of the country.
2022 saw a leap in the race to building Nigeria's industrial base, with the Bank of Industry dedicated to funding industrial enterprises at single-digit interest rates.
Normally, we charge less than 10%. But we further reduce that by 2% and allow them to have longer periods of moratorium.
The year also witnessed a revolution in the automotive sector, which attracted investment worth $1 billion and created capacity for production of 400,000 units of vehicles. With an eye to the future, the NADDC has commenced initiatives to support widespread adoption of electric vehicles and a draft automotive bill expected to be passed into law.
Now, when we started to push EVs, people thought we were a little bit crazy because they're saying, what are the power challenges? We said, yes, there are power challenges, but we will not allow ourselves to be defined by those challenges. We believe we're bigger than them. We must only be defined by our dreams and aspirations and by what we can achieve, not by what we're facing now. So we went ahead, we designed, strategized, and built 3 100% solar-powered electric vehicle charging stations to prove that, yes, even off the grid, you can power an electric vehicle in Nigeria.
In all of these, the Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment has continued to play the leading role in creating an enabling environment for businesses to succeed in the country.
The UK launched its new developing country trading scheme, and under that scheme, it will give preference to Nigerian goods into the UK. And given that 99% of the current wheat exports, amounting to £1.6 billion per year, will now be eligible for duty-free and quota-free access into the UK.
Stakeholders are optimistic that if the present momentum is sustained, Nigeria will emerge a clear global winner in the near and long-term future. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
In this next report, Abdullah Solejo tells us some major activities and policies that shaped the education sector in the year 2022.
The Nigerian education sector for most part of 2022 was at the forefront of news owing to industrial action embarked upon by members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU. What started as a 4-week warning strike on February 14th escalated to an 8-month strike. Chief of Staff to the President, religious, traditional, opinion leaders and concerned parties all waded in, but to no avail.
We can only end the strike when the issue and contentions are met. By the federal government, one, signing and implementing the agreement we have negotiated with NTA. 2, the federal government challenged us when we said IPs was not working. They said, can you produce alternative? And finally, the past issue, the fertilization fund, areas of earn allowance. When government implement this, the union we can even call our member that same day to come here and we look at it and suspend the strike.
Eventually, on the 14th of October, after intervention by the leaders of the National Assembly, headed by the Speaker Femi Bajabiamila, ASU suspended one of the longest strikes in the history in Nigeria's education sector.
I hope this time around, there will not be any attempt by any party or group to create something that will also make us run into anything again.
Despite the strike, the education sector recorded success to some extent in the following areas: education policy, data and planning, infrastructural development, service delivery, human capital development, access to quality education, and job creation.
One of the greatest achievements we recorded in the education sector during the period under review was the development and launching of the e-learning website for all levels of our educational system. I would therefore like to use this opportunity to direct all of the regulatory agencies in the sector to ensure that all educational institutions under their purview interface with the ICT development ministry in order to develop and deploy relevant content on the website.
Apart from ease of access, this will also ensure that teaching and learning will continue seamlessly, even in the face of a pandemic or future strike.
2022, there was an awakening, I would say, because after COVID brought a lot of change. It opened the eyes of educators to see the many possibilities that learning can still take place outside the four walls of the classroom. And since then, that trend has continued.
So far, the present administration has expended over 6 trillion naira in capital and recurrent expenditure in the sector in the last 7 years. This is in addition to intervention from TEDFund and UBEC, which gulf over 2 trillion naira, aside investment from state and the private sector at all levels of the education system. The country partnership with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, of the United Kingdom resulted in the enrollment of 1.5 million girls in schools in the north. 2 unions were registered: the Nigerian Association of Medical and Dental Academics, NAMDA, and the Congress of University Academics, CONUA, for enhanced relations.
Let it be noted that Section 3, Subsection 2 of the Trade Unions Act Cap T14, Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, gives the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment powers to regroup an existing trade union of workers or employers. They are now a legal union of workers with rights and privileges.
The student loan bill passed by the National Assembly is awaiting the signature of the President. Once signed into law, the Act will create the Nigerian Education Bank, which will have the power to award student loan. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
And up next is Sports Update.